But the song basically started out because I wanted to do a remix of a Martin Garrix song called Find You, and I had the vocals, got the acapellas. It did sound something like this. So that sounded like that, and to be honest, I really struggled at the start with a different melody. When I first bounced this out, I had a different drop melody for the song, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I really didn't like the way it was sounding. So again, this is a very, very early version. I'll try and find it. This is what it sounded like on the 30th November 2023, so that's a long time ago. Rough. Yeah, as you can tell, that sounded pretty rough. But I didn't end up sticking with that vocal. I even tried with the Avicii Nicky Romero a cappella, which actually I think sounds really good when you mix it in with a song. Well, the song came about, I wanted to write a progressive song and really incorporate some more natural instruments, and so I wanted like a strong bass guitar and some actual electric guitars to layer in there with the leads, and I feel like this song did that. And once I had down the song but without any vocals, I then was trying to think, right, how do I want this to sound? How can I get something different that doesn't sound like every other electronic track? So I reached out to a very talented lady called Taya. It was a really fun process because she had never worked on an electronic dance track before. So this was her first time doing any of this. And I found that really exciting because I love working with people that haven't done electronic music. So you have, like, for example, when I worked with Beverly Anderson on Can't Live, and also on this song, which we'll get to later, she's like a soul sort of R&B, and then I'm electronic, progressive, you know, big room kind of style, and if you mix them together, it's like, get something that hasn't really been heard before. I'd like to continue doing that. I really want to lean into the more of a countryside maybe, or anyway, back to the project. So the vocals from Taya are actually really, really nice. Here's what they sound like.
It came without a warning. I'm not the one I used to know. I'm feeling like a stranger in places I once called home.
Super, super nice, and she does sound a lot like Lana Del Rey, and I love the vibe of that. We went back and forth on the vocals for a little while, but once we got down those lyrics and the flow with the song, it sounded really, really good. And like the song progresses as you go through, slowly more instruments come in, you now got percussion that comes in, and the bass slowly is rising throughout the song. It just builds up very slowly until you reach the build up, and it gets even more intense, and then the drop comes, and it's like in your face. And then we come into the build-up, which is where we switch.
Like a comeback here, they're never gonna keep me down.
You may notice that voice is different. That is not Taya. That is, as you can see, Beverly Anderson. And I worked with Beverly before on Can't Live, one of my tracks, for very early tracks in 2021. And she is an amazing, amazing, really talented singer and songwriter, and we'd already written the song, me and Taya. Whilst her vocals in the verses were absolutely perfect, I felt like I needed an in-your-face sort of like aggressive, not even aggressive, but like fat, full sounding voice for the drop. This is what Taya's vocal sounded like.
And like a comeback kid, they're never gonna keep me down.
I think I put a shitload of stuff on there.
'Cause in this crazy world, the dreamers are what we need now.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing technically wrong with them. Maybe they sound a bit dodgy because I haven't processed them properly like the rest of the layer. But yeah, they're just missing that final touch. Everything else of hers was amazing, really, really awesome. And I love her vocals and love her voice so much. Beverly's one's just really, really in your face and full. And just, she nailed it on the first take. And I was like, bro, how did you just nail that immediately? Like, it's just ridiculous.
And like a comeback here, they're never gonna keep me down. 'Cause in this crazy world,
and pan them side to side, some higher up, some lower.
What we need now.
She sounds incredible. Beverly's got one of the best natural voices I've ever heard, ever. Like, I don't think people understand how crazy good she is. I know she's been doing some different stuff and she hasn't really done electronic stuff for a while, but that is awesome. I still get goosebumps listening to that and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. There's been quite a few of you have DM'd me saying, bro, I've listened to this song like 100 times. And I'm like, that's just crazy to me. So thank you very much, firstly. So you're probably bored of this already, but I'm gonna show you the drop anyway. These are the leads that I made for the drop. Just like 6 layers. I bounced them out, but I did get rid of a few. As you can see, I got rid of 1, 2, 3 layers because this didn't add anything. I probably should have got rid of them in the project, but I didn't want to overcomplicate it. It's not massively in your face, but it's still strong enough that it stands out. This track I actually struggled a little bit with the mixing originally, so I messaged a good friend of mine, family friend of ours called Wayne, who mixed with Calvin Harris, and he gave me some amazing tips for the kick. And he was like, basically just shorten down your kick, get rid of the reverb tail because it muddies up your mix. And I was like, how can you hear that? He's like one of the most talented guys I've ever had the pleasure of learning from. Kick and the bass like this. Gritty, groovy. I was really happy with how the bass sounded because I struggled a little bit with that originally in my other songs, mixing wise, but in this song this turned out great. So thanks again, Wayne, for your help. I really appreciate it. Sorry you have to listen to some very early versions of this song that suck. And after the first drop, we have an acoustic guitar that was recorded by Tom Stafford, very talented guitar player. He recorded this a long time ago for me, actually, and he was playing on his guitar, but I ended up just looping the first chord. Here's what it sounded like. That's the same guitar chord, just looped. I love the way that it sounded and the vibe. I feel like it suited better than just having 2 chords, because then you're sort of lost after 2 chords. You don't know what you're hearing, but if you put the same chord twice, it's like, well, where are we going? It's like transitioning smoothly into the next part of the song. And then the bass comes back in, which originally was only in this part of the song. This bass line here was only originally after the first drop. But then I realized that it sounds so good, why not bring it to the start of the song, which is what I did, and moved it to the start here. The more you know. Also, after the first drop, added in some strings, which I think really helped the song and make it sound more natural. These are not real strings, they are from labs. There are these ones, strings long. Really awesome sound, have a listen. Love the way that they sound. I use lab stuff in all of my songs. They're really, really versatile sounds. One very small thing that I wanted to do was try and be creative with the kick. So when the 2 kicks come in, everything else cuts. So you can see the 2 kicks here that come in. They come in with a snare and a hat, and everything else, as you can see in these little gaps here, has been cut. So I got rid of everything, turned the volume right down, or just got rid of it completely. So it sounds like this. Don't know how to describe it, but it's like a reloading and then releasing, and the song sort of stops for a tiny second and then starts again. So you have like a little bit of something interesting, because otherwise if you just start again with no kick, it would suck. So I got rid of this here. Have a listen now. That sucks. If you start from here. I continued that on with these kicks here, as you can see. Just adds a little something. This break is actually one of my favorite parts of the song, where the synths just come back in, take away the vocal, you take away all the drums, and it's just the synths and the bass. I think it sounds really awesome. And then the build up again, I tried to simplify it. Beverly's vocals, the bass, the chords, but then we hold the bass line on one note here. Just builds tension. And then straight into the drop. And that is essentially the song Dreamers. I apologize it's taken me so long to make this video. You can stream it everywhere. It's out on all platforms. You can watch the music video up here. Incredible experience to make that. I got to try a brand new camera for Sony, first of all, with my videographer hat on. And I also got to do amazing sunrises, sunsets, fly the drone. It was just amazing. So definitely the best music video I've made to date. Go and check it out and let me know what you think. Go and stream, dreamers. I'll see you soon. Ciao.